Here with UWL head wrestling coach Dave Malecek as we preview the 2019 WIC Championships, which of course are presented by Culver's. Action begins Friday at noon up at UW Eau Claire. Each team in meet can enter 2 wrestlers per weight class. Here are the rankings going in. UWL is ranked 9th in the country, Whitewater 14th, Oshkosh 21st, Stevens Point 22nd. UWL and UW Whitewater with 17 conference titles leads the way. Coach, let's first talk about your season. Before we get into the conference, you finished 11-3 overall, 5-0 in the WIC. Just how you thought this regular season went now that we're in the championship season.
Yeah, I think regular season went about as planned. I mean, we ran into a couple good teams, obviously, with Loras College, who's ranked above us, and then with a loss there to Baldwin Walls, who's also ranked ahead of us. So I think with this crew of guys, I think they've gotten better as the season has gone on. I mean, going undefeated in our conference, I told you at the very first interview we did that every week was going to be tough, and I think it proved to that. I mean, we saw a lot of ups and downs in the conference. Every night, every duel is pretty close. A lot of duels, 24-23, 22-21, and then upsets here and there. I mean, Oshkosh came down the last weight class, beat Platteville last week. So I think you saw a lot of close duels in there. I think you saw a Stevens Point team that got a lot better, and we had a good duel with them a couple weeks ago here at home. So overall, I think our first part of the season was great. I mean, our guys did a good job. Like I said, we had a couple dual losses in there. Lost to Augsburg, who's in our qualifier, but we get an opportunity now to kind of regroup as we hit championship season.
Coach, let's talk about your practice. How do you tailor your practice maybe from the beginning of the season and now that you're in the championship schedule?
Yeah, we definitely tailor. We're obviously trying to peak at the end of the season here, our championship season with 3 big tournaments with the conference championship, regional championships, and NCAAs. Our schedule, I mean, obviously the basics we covered at the beginning of the season and really trying to get them in shape and take them to a whole nother level and kind of get rid of some bad habits for our freshmen that came in from high school wrestling. Even some of our older guys have had some lingering habits that they had from the summer that they gained. And so really trying to break those down and make each guy better. We're not a set structure that you have to wrestle a certain style. Each guy's unique. We think that's been very successful for us as a coaching staff and our whole team. So we've changed our practices up quite a bit. In this group, I will tell you this, that we've trained this group harder than we have in a lot of years in the past. And it's been awesome to see how they've responded to it. And they've taken on the workload, and now it's time to pull back a little bit and let them perform.
Coach, you're in your 13th year here as UWL's head coach. What have you learned about your program as we get into the championship season here? When we talk about WIC, NCAA Regional, and the NCAA Championships?
What have I learned? Well, I feel like I've learned a lot because I've made a ton of mistakes. I think with guys treating each guy separately, treating each guy uniquely, their situation. Some guys you can push harder, some guys you can't. I think the one thing that I have learned that every year in, year out, that the WIAC is tough. Every coach brings their A game. Every coach brings has their teams ready to go. I think the way we've trained our guys has changed a little bit. I think really spend more time on the psychological part or the emotional part or the strategy with it. The mental aspect has been a lot different, but I think we've become smarter coaches. That's the best way to say it, just on training them and listening more, have those guys listen more to their bodies.
What have you told your team this week? You have some wrestlers who have, of course, competed at the conference championships, but you have some new guys too. What have you told them, their mindset kind of going into this?
Right, we talked a lot about the history, and they're not just wrestling for themselves, they're wrestling for every guy that's come across and wore the ESS gear, the UWL gear, the UWL singlet, all the years from back in the 60s all the way through, that you're representing the program, you represent some amazing things that have happened. So we're just real excited about that, and just, it's not a big deal. Don't make it any bigger than it is. We have 3 tournaments left. You want to focus on each one, but don't make it a bigger deal.
Your expectations, we know the WIC is tough. Your expectations going into this meet with those 4 teams that are ranked.
Right, it's going to be a battle. Like, we're not taking any matches for granted. We're going to come out and every guy's got to perform. We have to. Pre-seeds came out, and obviously Whitewater's got some higher seeds than us, and then if you do the scoring, they're probably favored to win it, but we got to come out and really wrestle well, and Stevens Point's kind of a great tournament team. Oshkosh, you never count them out, along with Platteville. Really almost anybody in that conference, as they get rolling, is a pretty good team.
Final question, just talking about the conference championship itself. It's one day, so it's jam-packed. You start at noon tomorrow, you leave tomorrow morning. You start at noon, it's jam-packed, you're done tomorrow night.
Right, yeah, it's a unique situation, and you can go back and forth on if it's good, because we're going to see the exact same teams in a couple weeks that are NCAA regional, so you're battling the exact same guys, and you want to come out of conference championships healthy as we prepare for regionals and nationals, which is important also. So it's a battle. It's a one-day battle in Eau Claire's 4 matches. You're going to see a lot of great matches, a lot of ranked guys in the nation battling each other.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.